and that is with the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins right now, guys, are sitting at 5-6 on the season. They have won 3 games in a row. They have beaten the Patriots, they've beaten the Raiders, and they've beaten the LA Rams in the last 3 games. As of right now, Mark, they have a 15% chance of making the playoffs. That's not a very good shot. When you look at their schedule moving forward, week 13, they're at the Green Bay Packers. They do play the New York Jets. They're at the Houston Texans, the San Francisco 49ers. They play the Cleveland Browns, and then they're at the Jets in week 18. Spoiler alert, Mark, I just realized that we're recording this on Monday, and the Miami Dolphins play the Green Bay Packers on Thursday Night Football, so this might even be obsolete when this comes up to play, but it is what it is. I think for any team to really slide up, Mark, up into that AFC playoff picture, they're going to need about 9 wins with a bunch of tiebreakers to really jump into that 7-6-5 playoff range. And I think maybe potentially 10 wins will get them into the playoffs. So with the Miami Dolphins, let's say they lose to the Green Bay Packers, which we'll already know the outcome of that. Let's just say they lose. That puts them at 5-7 on the season. Still potential to beat the Jets twice, to beat the Browns, 49ers, and Texans, sweep the last 5 games of the season to get into that 10-win mark. 10-win mark. So, Mark, let me ask you this question. 15% chance to make the playoffs. They basically have to only lose 1 game tops moving forward with probably some help. Can the Miami Dolphins stay hot, be hot, sneak it into the playoffs? Are they going to be contenders or pretenders? Can they make it into the playoffs, Mark?
I hate that you're kind of asking me to do this with AFC teams because, dude, I want to see the Broncos in the playoffs. So both of these teams are going to be in my team's way of getting there. So just for the sake of the show, I'll go along, but I'm telling you, the Broncos are going to be the ones in the playoffs. I'm not really sure about any of these other teams that we're talking about. But the Dolphins, I'm going to say they're pretenders. I think they have a gauntlet of teams to play, dude. Like you said, the Texans, the Jets twice, and I'm sure the Jets want to try to salvage some of this crappy season that they've had. And then they got to go to also Cleveland. I know Tua does not play well in cold weather, and it's going to be cold in December. So they probably won't win that game. And then they got to go to the Jets in there. That's another cold game. I don't think they're going to be able to handle it. I don't see them making the playoffs.
Yeah, and to be honest, Mark, I think the Denver Broncos make the playoffs. I don't think there's any stretch of the imagination. I don't see them dropping, 4 of their next 6 or 5 of the next 6. I see them having a 9, if not a 10-win season, and I think that locks them in there. What I would be worried about, though, is a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers potentially sliding out, falling off the face of the earth. The Baltimore Ravens, we are seeing them on Monday Night Football tonight take on the Chargers. Do they start to slide? Do the Chargers, how do they rebound back from a Monday night game? So I think the Broncos are in there, but there's other teams out there that are that might slide out. But I want to preface this. Every team in the AFC playoffs right now, the Broncos sitting at the 7 seed, they have a 72% chance of making the playoffs. Everybody else above 90%. So this is a huge task. This is a huge ask for the Miami Dolphins to get 9, if not 10 wins on this season. I just do not see it happening, Mark. So I have to say that they are 100% pretenders. I don't anticipate them beating the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field on Thursday night. Of course, we will already know the outcome once this show airs up, but I just don't see them beating the Green Bay Packers. And then you play the Jets twice. Yes, I know it is the Jets, but it's still a divisional game, Mark. We saw last week in Week 12 when the Tennessee Titans beat the Houston Texans because it's a divisional game. Divisional opponents want to beat each other week after week after week. And then the Texans, true wild card, but it's at Houston. The Houston Texans aren't going to be playing for a whole lot. They probably already have that division locked up, but they want to go out there and they want to get right. To be honest, Mark, if the Miami Dolphins lose to the Green Bay Packers, they may only win 1, if not 2 games for the rest of the season, and they just might be totally 100% out of it. Do you see them sweeping the Jets, beating the 49ers, beating the Browns. I mean, Houston Texans, I think they get beat. I think they get beat by the Green Bay Packers. But those other 4 or 5 teams, do they even have a shot?
Like I said, I don't think they win the cold games for sure. So they don't win in New York and they don't win in Cleveland. So count those as losses. The Niners, if they get healthy again by that time, that might be a tough game also. So they might not win that one. And like you said, they got to play Houston in Houston. Houston might trying to be getting right, like you said. So that might not be a win. Maybe Jets at home's a win, and the Packers, that's another tough one. So I don't know. I don't see them winning that one either.
Yeah, this could be a little bright spot of their point, winning 3 games in like a row. Maybe hopefully they can salvage some type of season, but let's just be honest. Guys, I think the Miami Dolphins are 100% pretenders. I think they are out of this year's playoff race. So guys, in the comments below, let me know, do you guys